say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
Michelle Pfeiffer? The only true Catwoman is Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, or Eartha Kitt. And I didn't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Pure West.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
I love it when a plan comes together.
It's time. Let's talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live stream, The Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and for the next hour plus, we're going to talk about music, movies, mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. So I'm excited tonight because I have a couple of absolutely wonderful fellers here with me. Let me go ahead and bring them on screen. We've got Pat McCormack from the Golden Age of Television and Ian C. from a Retro Serial. Thanks for joining me this evening, guys.
Glad to be on.
Thanks for having us, buddy.
Yep.
Let me click on the live streaming button. There we go. Now we're official. We're officially live streaming. Let's go ahead and, boy, oh boy, there were folks that were lined up early this evening for the chat, and I want to make sure that we welcome everybody. So I'm going to scroll up to the top here and make sure we get everybody. Lance Cheffin is here. And by the way, Lance is our newest super fan. So from now on, it's super fan Lance Cheffin. Thank you, sir, for the support. We've got Christopher Kraft in the house who says, at last, I'm able to enjoy a live stream. I'm glad. That means that Christopher's all moved in, settled on down, and able to kick back and enjoy the live stream with us. Kenneth Wilkinson is here. Steve, our good friend Steve from the Life and Sad Ending channel, is here with us as well. Always a pleasure to have you here. Lance says, hey, Dave, you are the first YouTuber that I've joined. And he's talking about the actual channel membership thing. Oh. Wow. Well, that's what I'm supposed to say. Wow, not you. Again, thanks, Lance. Ed Myers is here. Rob Aiken, I should say, is here. Let's see. Who says, I only really know Back to the Future. Don't know much else about Michael J. Fox. Well, hopefully, RB, by the time the evening's over, you'll know a little bit more about the great Michael J. Fox and, you know, his work. So, and I should say thank you to channel member, super fan John Collins, who suggested that we talk about Michael J. Fox. I knew that would get me a guaranteed visit from Ian, and I truly appreciate Pat joining as well. But Ian is one of the Family Ties isn't that pretty much your favorite TV show, Ian?
Of the 80s, for sure. It's a split. Married with Children at the end of the 80s kind of came in and overrode things for a bit. But when you're talking from 82 up till 88, I mean, it was Family Ties for sure.
Yeah, just a great show. What'd you say, 82, 80, 88, 89? I thought for some reason.
No, it ran later than that. But after that, that's when I think that's when Married with Children came on. And I started to watch, and it competes. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to tell. But yeah, I mean, overall, probably Family Ties would win out.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me just say this. I find myself going back and watching Family Ties. I've not really found myself going back and watching Married with Children unless it happens to come on television.
Yeah, it's one of those where there's a handful of Married with Children episodes I love. But if I probably were to pick, I'd probably pick Family Ties as well, just to go back and watch something. Mark Burchett is here, my fellow Utahn down there in, I Pleasant Grove, I believe, Utah. And Dolph Quick is here. Welcome, Dolph. Good to have you. Super fan Tracy Rothmyers is in the house. Welcome, Tracy. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And we've got Spike Spikerson. Spike Spikerson says, go to IMDb and check out all the amazing things that are there on Michael J. Fox. Let's see who else we've got here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. John Collins is asking that superfan John Collins is saying, hey, Dave, good evening. I have a community section suggestion. Could there be a poll about what the community may like the next store item to be? With a tumbler being one of the poll options. I have a feeling I know which way you're going to vote, John. So now I've just got to come up with an image that's worthy of a tumbler. But I'll definitely put that in as a poll for you guys to submit provide your feedback on. Let's see what else we've got here. Scrolling through.
Dave, a shot glass. You know,
a little shot glass. That'd be perfect. Yeah. Scarlet Red Magic is in the house. She says that she loves chatting about classic TV, and we surely love having her visit with us during the live streams. And let's see. Oh, there he is. I'm waiting for some sort of Green Acres reference, Skip, so don't let me down. Do not let me down, but it's good to have you here. Tom McCluskey, also known as the Hungry Jerk, is in the house as well. I kind of turn into a hangry jerk when I get hungry. That's what happens to me. Did I say hello to Dolph? I'm not sure. Dolph Quick, welcome. Good to have you here. Let's see. Yeah, looks like I picked the wrong day to quit smoking. A great quote from the classic movie.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put us back on this screen so that we can see Ian. I keep cutting Ian off here. Doc Savage is here. Let's see who else. Raja 1938 is in the house. The weird thing about this particular setting, at least, is whenever I put on a quote on the screen, and take it off, then we go big and large like this and back to this. But that's okay. Georgia, it's good to have you here. Matt Sweeney, welcome. As always, Marianne. Justin, a.k.a. Braidwood Inn. McGanahan Sky Jellyfetti. Cindy D., who is, I've noticed she hangs out over on the ENC Retro Serial live streams on Mondays. That's awesome, Ian.
Yeah, it really is. I enjoy having everyone over there as well, and I enjoyed having you on Monday. That was great. Thanks for joining us.
I wish I could have stuck around for the whole thing. It killed me that I had to leave. That was a great conversation. Absolutely great conversation. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead because we do have a super chat from my friend John Collins. Very kind of you, sir. Again, I'm going to ban you from future super chats throughout the evening. That's very kind and extremely generous. As a matter of fact, here's what I have for you, John. I've been saving this for just the right person, and you are that guy. So hold on to your hats here. I've got a little treat for you as a way of me saying thank you for your super chat support.
Thank you very, very, very much.
There we go. Okay. John says, here's a strong starter for tonight's conversation. Does Michael J. Fox enter the old conversation of legend status somewhere between Tiny Tim and Doris Day? His career, he's a beloved international humanitarian. What do you guys think about that question? Where does Michael J. Fox enter into the conversation? Is he at the point where you would consider him a legend?
Yes.
I'm not going to I don't know if I could put him in between Tiny Tim or Doris Day, but is he? I mean, he's officially retired as of 2020. He's no longer in the business. He's done. He's having a hard time even with speech now. He's really struggling with some of those things due to his Parkinson's. What do you guys think? I'll shut up and let you guys talk for a minute.
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, go ahead, Ian.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think he's a legend for sure. Yeah. I mean, I love it. Pretty much almost everything he's done, at least everything that I've gotten able to see, even some of his stuff that happened in the 90s where he wasn't quite as popular in some of the later movies, but I thought they were phenomenal movies, like Mike and Me and the one where he wants to build a hotel. They weren't quite as popular in the the critical eye and stuff, but they're great movies. They're really good. So legend for sure. But I don't know too, Dave. I mean, I don't know where to fit him between Tiny Tim and Doris Day. I have no idea where. I'm not even sure I understand the reference quite.
Yeah, I don't either. Other than they're both institutions. I mean, how can you not love both Tiny Tim and Doris Day? Yeah. I probably lean a little bit more towards loving Doris Day, but nevertheless, Michael J. Fox is truly beloved. Pat, anything you'd add to that?
Well, yeah, you've got to add heroic. I mean, anybody that is struck down in their prime, at their prime, in their career and in their lives, and still able to put on that face of positivity and play the role of philanthropist and not only that, let's face it, he's a great actor. And sometimes you think, well, the material was just, it would be perfect for anybody. I mean, I guess my understanding was Eric Stoltz was up for Back to the Future. It was actually going to be that character. And they just felt, you know what, this guy, even though he's working on the sitcom at the same time, has got it. He is this guy. And I was just watching something where, again, the legendary performances, just about everything he ever did was legendary because of his talent and his timing. Absolutely. So when you want to put into performances that were legendary, there's many. As a legendary actor, of course, but more I think of him as just a legendary Hollywood personality that's going to have a legacy that will last forever. So there's my first love letter to Michael.
Yeah, well said. Well said. And you're right. They wanted Michael J. Fox for Back to the Future, but couldn't get him because of his commitment to family ties. So they started filming with Eric Stoltz. They had quite a bit of that movie, at least Eric's part, or the Marty McFly parts, in the can when they made the very difficult decision after looking and kind of watching what had been filmed to basically let Eric go. He great actor, but the wrong actor for this particular role. And somehow
he was too serious.
Yeah.
If you see, there's some clips of that footage, and he's a great actor, but it's not the whimsical nature actor that Michael J. Fox brought to the role. It was super serious. Like he played it super, like if it was really happening and not comedically, and it wasn't what they were looking for. And even some of the scenes with Michael J. Fox in it are with Eric Stoltz in it actually survived. That scene where he's on the bed with his mother and they're going back and forth. That scene was just Michael J. Fox speaking the role and them doing what they had already filmed with Eric Stoltz. And there's a legend that actually his fist is seen. Eric Stoltz's fist is seen when he punches Biff out. That you can see Biff's a little bit different. He doesn't look as haggard because they had to refilm everything, and the fist is a little bit different. And so Eric Stoltz is still technically in the film.
Yeah, at least his fist is. Yeah. I don't think that's rumor. I think in the the special edition DVD, in the additional commentary, they say that's Eric Stoltz. He's still in the movie. So yeah, kind of cool actually. So great question, John, and hopefully we've answered it appropriately, but you're really just a heck of an actor, which goes to, let me go ahead and move forward here. Let's go back to this particular screen. And Ian, I'll try to get you unhidden here for a second. And then I'm going to ask a question, which is, what is your favorite Michael J. Fox movie? So I'm going to actually here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw 30 seconds out on the old timer here. Let's throw 30 seconds and just have everybody in the comment section share their favorite Michael J. Fox movie with us. So here we go. Let's wind up the timer. There we go. 30 seconds. And while you guys are entering your favorite movie, maybe I can throw this out to Pat and Ian. Do you have a favorite Michael J. Fox movie?
I think I just answered it. I mean, Teen Wolf was great, and so was Doc Hollywood. Those two, but again, it seemed very much like it was just that same Alex Keaton character that he could bring to any movie and make it sellable. Yeah. And so, yeah, I loved his timing in Back to the Future. I think about that one line, Doc, are you telling me you made a time machine out of a DeLorean? And I thought, that's the brings me to every movie. And so, yeah, that one's my favorite. So go ahead, Ian.
How about you, Ian?
It's really tough. Am I just choosing between these ones here on the screen? Or
you know what? No. As a matter of fact, let's discount Back to the Future. And thanks for picking a couple others, Pat. And tell me, because I think everybody, for the most part, as a matter of fact, let me spoil it here. I put a survey out in the community section, and you can see just what a runaway favorite Back to the Future is in terms of, if you ask someone, here's my top 5 movies, and then I ask the community, which one is your favorite? And my favorite's Back to the Future too. But what was more interesting to me was to see what fell below that. So, Ian, if you had to pick a movie besides Back to the Future, which one would it be?
Teen Wolf. I mean, especially when I was younger, Teen Wolf was one of my favorite ones. On that screen there, besides Back to the Future, would have been. I love Doc Holliday. Gosh, it's such a difficult. Not Doc Holliday, sorry, Doc Hollywood. There I go again, messing up. But again, The Hard Way was a really good one.
Oh yeah, that was good with James Woods. Yeah,
that was actually one of my favorite shows when it came out at the time. I really liked that one. For Love or Money was also really good. I thought that was good. So there's so many of them that were really good at the time, though. When this was coming out, I would have to say, of course, Back to the Future is the classic, but Teen Wolf was just an underground classic, and it was always on HBO. And so I was constantly watching it, and constantly at the time wanting to be a werewolf as a result. I was highly influenced by TV. Yeah. I'd watch the Solid Gold Dancers, and I'd go around pretending I was a Solid Gold dancer.
I just wanted to date the Solid Gold dancer.
Yeah, I was highly influenced by TV. So yeah, Teen Wolf, wanted to be a wolf as a reason. Wanted to be a werewolf as a result of Teen Wolf. Loved that show.
Now, in the back of my head, I remember reading a story that Teen Wolf had actually been filmed prior to Back to the Future, but it was released afterwards simply to capitalize on the success of Back to the Future. I'm not sure if I'm correct on that, but
yeah,
I remember hearing that story, and you're right, it was always on HBO. I watched that show so many times on HBO in the late 80s.
Right.
Hey, Tracy Roth Myers, I got to say thank you for the super sticker. Very kind of you. Truly, truly appreciated. I will not play the Lawrence Welk musical piece again at this moment. But later on, if I do play it again, I know Pat's like, please no. I got to find a more rocking thank you. I'll find a more rocking thank you for future live stream events, Pat. But thank you very much, Tracy. Super appreciated. Let me scroll down. I want to see what folks say in terms of their favorites. And so while I do that, I'm going to do this. Maybe this won't cut Ian off so much. There we go. Let's see. Let me see if we can find some. Okay. Folks are saying, here we go. Matt Sweeney says The Secret of My Success. Doc Savage says Teen Wolf was a lot of fun. Hungry Jerk says Life with Mikey. Yep. Little Wing says Doc Hollywood. I have to believe that's what that is. John H says Back to the Future. Lance Chaffin, super fan Lance Chaffin, says says Teen Wolf. Spike Spikerson, super fan Spike Spikerson, says Casualties of War. Danny Staten, my buddy Danny Staten, I loved your Charlie's Angels comic book review, buddy. So much fun. In the back of my head, I feel like there was a comic book in the 70s, but I couldn't find it. So that was cool. Good to see Dynamite Comics doing something more recently about the original 70s Charlie's Angels. I'm rambling on here because what you say is The Frighteners for me. I love that movie, dude. Yeah. The Frighteners is a underrated comedic horror classic, and Michael J. Fox's last feature film role where he was the lead, by the way. Peter Jackson movie also.
Wow.
Let's see. If you haven't seen it, Ian, you're in for a treat if you actually find that movie and watch it. It's great.
Well, yeah. And when did Mars Attacks come out? Is that after that? Because I thought he was great in that too.
He was good in that. Obviously, that was more of an ensemble film.
Right.
Tim Burton, right? Tim Burton movie. He was very good in that, though. I enjoyed him in Mars Attacks as well. Let's see. Superfan Tracy Rothmeyer says Back to the Future. Another guy in Tennessee, welcome, says Back to the Future. Custom God, welcome, Back to the Future. Cindy D says hands down Back to the Future. I asked the question wrong. I've got to say, in addition, or besides Back to the Future, but Jeff Mullins says The Frighteners. And TJ921 Abel says cop between Doc Hollywood and Back to the Future. By the way, did anybody else see the similarities between Doc Hollywood and Cars? Did anyone else feel like they just pretty much swiped that Doc Hollywood plot for Cars?
I never saw Cars, so I have no idea.
No,
is that the kid show with Larry the Cable Guy?
He was Mater, the tow truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's a great flick. Just all Pixar movies are great. I do see. Now that you mention it, Dave. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Similarities. George Ayers says Back to the Future. Lamont Bradford says Back to the Future 1 and 3. I think lots of folks feel that way. 2 was a little bit.
Not me. I'm going to be I loved part 2. Okay, I'm a part 2 fan. It had the most action. It was the most suspenseful. Part 1 was a classic. Really, it was a classic. There's difficult to improve upon. But, part 2, it really just seemed like one trouble after another, and it was edge of your seat. And, of course, I was younger when it came out. I was maybe 15 or 16, somewhere around there when it came out. So that might have fed into my love for the show as well. But that actually is the most exciting entry, and I did like it. I don't like it as much as part 1 because part 1's a classic, but I did like it better than part 3. And I know I'm the odd man out. I like them all, but I would probably rank 2 the lowest. What about you, Pat? How would you rank the 3 movies out?
Yeah, I don't think I ever even watched part 3 all the way through. It just was so far removed for me from that classic first one. Me being into classic TV, I'm into the classics, just like you, Ian. I prefer number 1. It had everything.
I have 2 Back to the Future games here, by the way. And let me just say, I got 2 of them. They're both really good games. If you're into games, the Back to the Future games are they're both A+ games. They're both a lot of fun to play if you like board games.
Yeah. And I understood that Michael and Christopher Lloyd, they reprised their roles for the video games, if I'm not mistaken. More recently.
They did. Now they had a voiceover actor, someone else in the video games do a lot of the voice work. But he did contribute his likeness, and he did make an appearance at the end as like his great-grandfather or something like that. I haven't played those video games, but I do know he was involved, and he wanted to be involved to the extent that he could. Right. So good point. All right, there are way too many. Oh, here's one. Anyone remember Midnight Madness? Has anybody seen that movie besides me?
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit. It comes up later on, and when we do a little trivia. All right.
I'm going to answer like Ian. I was probably way too young for
that. Probably.
Hey, I gotta say a thank you to Brian Bushnell, who's just become, or Byron. Sorry about that, Byron. Byron Bushnell has just become a new member of the Good Stuff community, a new super fan. So thank you very much, good sir. Truly appreciated. Another movie that Tracy Roth Myers brings up is Bright Lights, Big City. I remember there was this point where Michael J. Fox in his career really kind of seemed to be wanting to move away from the lightweight comedies of Teen Wolf, Secret of My Success, those kind of movies, and do different things. Someone else mentioned Casualties of War earlier, and then Bright Lights, Big City was another one where he played a very, guy that was struggling with drugs and alcohol and all these kind of things. Thoughts about his dramatic turns?
Well, that was, I'm sorry, Ian. Was that with Sean Penn?
Casualty of War was, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. That was really good. I thought he played that role, that dramatic role, really well. But go ahead, Ian. Sorry to cut you off there.
Was the Bright Lights, Big City? So Casualty of War, I never saw. Bright Lights, Big City, that was the one with Joan Jett.
No,
am I correct?
That was Light of Day.
Light of Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright Lights, Big City had the only other actor I can remember in that was Swoosie Kurtz. Of all things, it sticks in my head that she was in that movie with him. But yeah, now Light of Day. That was. Did you guys enjoy that movie? I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great, and the only reason that it kind of clicked in my head that way is I remember listening to an interview with him saying that was an attempt to get away from just bringing Alex P. Keaton to every role. That was one of the movies where he attempted to, and I thought it was great. I mean, I thought it was a great show. I love music. He's a good musician as well. He's not the best, but he's decent enough to play the guitar and sing a few notes. And who doesn't love Joan Jett, man? I mean, what a pioneer in music. So great movie all around.
Yeah. Thoughts about The Runaways there, Pat?
Oh,
we can talk about The Runaways for a long time.
Actually, let's start with Lena Ford. I love them.
I do too.
They were punk. A lot of people think they were rock, but I'm sorry, those were punk. That was a punk band. They were the female Ramones.
You know what? So, everybody calls the Go-Go's the first punk band. The Go-Go's swiped all the credit. They weren't the first punk band, and they were hardly even punk. It was the Runaways. Those girls knew how to rock.
Yeah, no, the Go-Go's were a new wave band, if anything.
Then they changed their sound.
Yeah,
they changed. They were heavier actually before they got signed, and then they realized that if they were going to get signed, they were going to have to be lighter and go this new wave route. But I was actually talking about this on my live stream. Belinda Carlisle in her career went the Madonna route, totally betrayed the whole thing, and then Jane Wiedlin, I think Wiedlin. She has a band called Frosted, or did, and it's actually really good. It's one of those bands that doesn't get a lot of attention, but I think she was the backbone of the Go-Go's personally. But to the point of the Runaways, definitely punk. However, Lita Ford went really into heavy metal, I think, but the band was punk, and so was Joan Jett. I mean, she's punk rock all the way.
Yeah, we could go tangential on. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say, Ian, you brought up Michael's musicianship, and I know when I was at the Guitar Institute in Hollywood in the late '80s, there was a guy there. His name was Paul. I wish I had his last name, but he is actually credited for coaching Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future for all those guitar scenes. And there's actually certain footage where it showing him how to basically fake being Eddie Van Halen. And It's funny because this guy Paul, and gosh, I can't remember his last name, but that was one of his big career selling points. I don't know how far his career went after that, but it was always listed as coached Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. And he was actually one of the band members, not the band at the dance. He was a white guy.
Yeah.
But one of the there was
the school band. The school band where he there, and they said, "Oh, yeah."
And he was in that scene, and that was one of his claims to fame. So
yeah.
I don't know if Michael was, I never really heard him play for real, but I know that he was coached, and he wanted it to look as real as possible. And you know what? He did it. Certainly wasn't him singing though.
Yeah, you're right. I think there was some element of talent there for sure. I mean, we saw that in Light of Day as well.
But in Light of Day, that's him singing. I believe it's him singing in Light of Day. It's not him singing in Back to the Future, but in Light of Day, I believe he does have vocals in there.
Pat, Dolph Quick mentions that he likes your T-shirt. Can we see a little closer look at the?
Thank you. It's to celebrate the fact that here comes fall, baby.
It's Lily.
Yeah, Yvonne.
Love it.
Yep. Most beautiful woman in the world.
Absolutely. Hey, couple of super chats I need to acknowledge and say thank you to is first off, Larry Potter says, you notice that there's some similarity to Back to the Future and It's a Wonderful Life. I can honestly say I hadn't. Ian, you're the expert here. You love Back to the Future too. It's a Wonderful Life. Do you see that similarity? Little?
Kind of. I mean, maybe.
We might need some more help, Larry. If you want to tell us on that one where you see the similarities.
So it's been a while since I've seen the life, the Wonderful Life, but Back to the Future 2 and A Wonderful Life. I don't know if I really see it too much. I don't know. I mean, everyone's got their their take on it. So
tell us more, Larry. Give us another comment. Tell us more. Hopefully I'll catch it as I go through the stream of comments here. And there was another super chat from Paul Rotter. Let's see. Hold on. Holy cow. There it is. Who said, my favorite Michael J. Fox on-screen girlfriend was Boof. I'm not sure who Boof is. Can you help me with that one, Ian? Or?
Maybe one of the girlfriends for an episode on Family Ties. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I know that you had some girls coming in and out of Family Ties before he gets his one main girlfriend, and then the actress who he goes off and actually marries in real life. But yeah, he's always dating somebody in Family Ties.
Who came first, Tracy Pollan or Courtney Cox? I can't remember. You're the expert on this.
Tracy Pollan came first.
Tracy Pollan came first, and then and then she left, and then they had him paired up with Courtney Cox, right?
Yeah, and then at the very end, it doesn't work out between her and Courtney Cox either. So he kind of has a romantic fling with another gal, and I know the actress, but I don't know her name. She's been in a lot of stuff, but I can't remember who she is. I can't remember her.
Well, we're going to need some more help, Paul Rotter. Tell us who Boof is, unless you know, Pat. You know who Boof is?
I dropped out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm having some internet issues here, guys. So
it's all good.
I disappear magically. I don't know what the question was. So
that's right.
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly. Let me go to Rex Trek 5. Thank you so much, Rex Trek, for the $5 super chat. He says Casualty, or they say Casualty of War was an amazing, heart-wrenching movie with a wonderful music score. To me, it made Michael J. Fox a major serious star. I love the movie as well. I thought he was every bit Sean Penn's equal in that movie. Sean Penn gets all the accolades all the time, but he was every bit Sean Penn's equal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carl Smith
I'll have to go back and watch it. I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it for 15-ish years or so, but and things start to fade. But it was a great performance. Carl Smith says, "I've never seen The Frighteners, but I remember seeing Michael J. Fox in that." That reminds me, there was a comment earlier from Stimson J. Cat who said that Mars Attacks, Pat, was in 96 as well. So Mars Attacks and The Frighteners, same year, final year that Michael J. Fox was in feature films. It was after that he, of course, went on to back to TV. Hit TV gold again. Right. We'll talk about that in the trivia section here in just a little bit in Spin City. So, all right.
Dave Lisa Booth.
Yeah, there
Teen Wolf.
Here we go. Lisa Marconi from Teen Wolf. Oh, yes. I remember Booth now. I do remember, and I know why you liked her in Teen Wolf. She was okay. Great comment, Paul Rotter, and thank you you didn't have to follow up with another super chat for that, by the way. And I've got to say, John Collins, I'm going to put you in the penalty box, dude. I'm going to put you in the penalty box in a minute here. He said that he said a couple of things. He went back and he said, like, when he said Tiny Tim to Doris Day, he was saying that that's kind of the range, where non-legend is Tiny Tim. Doris Day is, so it's kind of the spectrum of legendariness, with Tiny Tim being on the low end of the legends and Doris being at the absolute high end, which I agree with, by the way, John Collins. So he also said that I just want to clarify that when I said tumbler, I didn't mean shot glass. I meant more like a hot and cold drink. Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean something like this, but with a wonderful Good Stuff logo on it. We can probably accommodate that.
Well, I meant shot glass. I don't know. Sorry, John.
All right. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We are well over the halfway point, or at least the 30-minute mark. So you know what I like to do here. Let's do this for a second. Let me kind of move forward. We talked about this. Yes, Back to the Future, everybody's favorite. But if you folks haven't seen any of these other 4 movies, and Casualty of War, and Bright Lights, Big City, and The Hard Way, and anything Michael J. Fox is in is worth the 2 hours spent. Quickly, I need to say thank you to Bisnicio, superfan Bisnicio, for his sticker. The stickers I kind of don't get. It's like you don't really say anything with a sticker, a super sticker. You just show love, I guess. So in that respect, I appreciate the support. And thank you very much for the super sticker, Bisnicio, and for your continued support as a channel member.
That one all right. Welk, I think you're going to put Lawrence Welk up for that one too, Dave.
I will in a minute. Trust me, Lawrence Welk is coming back, Pat. Whether you want it or not, it's coming back.
Thank you.
Yeah. God. Let's go ahead, and I was going to do commercials later, but we've done long enough that I feel like it's time for commercials. So before we do trivia, let's just pause for a minute and enjoy some commercial messages, if I can find them.
Would you like some of my fries?
Oh, yeah, thanks. I kind of ate all mine already. Hey, would you like a napkin? I got a couple here, really.
No, thanks. I'm fine.
Great. Gee, it's getting kind of late, huh?
Yeah.
I really had a great time tonight.
Me too.
I guess I better get going, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sue Ann?
Huh?
Nothing. Night.
Chucky.
Yeah.
You deserve a break today.
Thanks for dinner.
And nobody makes your day like McDonald's can.
Tuesday.
I have a baby.
Baby?
Palmerstown returns with a story of young love and parental anger.
Is
Stay away from her.
Suddenly, it's father against father in a bitter feud.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, comes into my store and threatens my family. Keep that boy away from my daughter.
Don't miss the award-winning series Palmerstown, Tuesday night.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Please. Unbelievable. Do you believe this? It says TV star reveals terrible secret. And there's a picture of me. Why don't I get a break? I fix myself a cup of Maxwell House Instant. You know, something nice, warm, so I can kick back, relax, put my feet up. Must be working. Because I'm not even upset to find out I'm the daughter of alien visitors. Where do they get this stuff?
Sundays, I used to have a routine. After dinner, Bill and I would turn on that murder show, and that was that. But that's all changed. Now that Family Ties is on Sundays, that's what we watch. Bill and I, we have our reasons.
She has her reasons, you'll have yours.
All right. So there we go. Mostly Michael J. Fox stuff with Justine Bateman there at the end, Mallory, and Michael J. Fox's mother there supporting him in our sponsored section of the evening. I do want to say thank you to my channel members, and I want to mention them all by name. Hopefully I get everybody, because if I'm trying to remember Lance Chaffin and Chaffin, one of these days, Lance, you're going to have to correct me on this, and so I can get it right. Probably Chaffin. I'm going to go with Lance Chaffin, and Byron Bushnell joined this evening. If I missed someone, I apologize. But before that, we've had James Mitchell, Superplex, John Collins, Retro Serial, our own ENC there, Spike Spikerson, Stephen Scott, Emily Miller, Gregory McLaughlin, Biznicio, Tom Gladstone, Tracy Roth Myers, and, well, Lance is already there on the list. That's right. I pulled it right before the beginning today. So thank you all for your support. And with that said, thank you very, very, very much. All right, there we go. Come on, you gotta love that, Pat. You gotta love that.
I'm still trying to get over that line in the commercial. Young love and parental anger. Young love and parental anger.
Too funny. Too funny. Hey, I noticed Terrell Bellinger has joined us, so welcome, Terrell. Mr. Jingles. I didn't welcome Anthony or Stephanie Stimson, J. Cat, Cindy Pruitt's here. So many more. Rome Ticklin, Mr. Jingles, Chris Budarakos. Let's see if there's anyone else I can see here. Elf Dog 100, Marianne G, Al Oduwardi, always here on Wednesday evenings. Jennifer Higbefill, Carl Smith. Holy cow, so many people contributing to the really fascinating conversation that's going on in the chat. Cindy D's here, Susan S is here. I'm sure I've missed other folks. Mr. Led is here as well. But thanks to everybody for the chat, the engagement there. It's, we don't catch everything that's being said there. Meditruth, good to have you with us. The old gamer Chuck Skull, good to have you here. Ben Adams from Iowa Park, Texas. It's great to have you here as well. Georgia Ayers, she says, please do Pat a favor and get rid of Lawrence Welk. I'll see what I can find next week. I got to tell you, I really love that clip. I really love that clip, but we'll see.
You're not a fan, huh, Pat?
I'm going to say please, too. Please.
All
it's
right.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful music, right?
Wonderful.
All right. So with that said, guys, it's time for trivia. Michael J. Fox trivia. Ian, I'm going to be pretty darn disappointed if you don't fare very well
I'm going to be disappointed. Normally, I'm like, oh, I'm always going to do bad. But if I don't do well on this one, then there's a problem.
There is a problem. There is a problem. All right. So let's go immediately to question number 1. And this kind of like, this is that free parking.
This is the free
the middle spot in bingo. This is the free one for everybody. So you all feel good. Here's what I'm doing to make you all feel good this evening. Question number 1, where was Michael J. Fox born? And while we're waiting here, we'll just have a little bit of some wonderful imagery while you think about it. Before we move on to the answer. Okay, we'll take Homer off the screen. All right.
Well, I'll tell you that.
Better than Lawrence Welk. So I'm going to give folks, they probably go ahead and put your answers in the comments section, folks, but I'm not going to wait too long for this one, given that I think we all know that the answer is Australia, correct?
Right. Yes. No.
Ian, you want to give us the answer?
Canada. Canada. Same place Shatner's from.
Yeah, lots of Martin Short. As a matter of fact, a lot of those SCTV people are from Canada, right?
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2 out of 10. Here's a little more difficult one. Maybe you can kind of put 2 and 2 together kind of thing. But what sport did Michael dream of playing professionally? And we'll have everybody go ahead and put your answers in the comments section. And what we'll do here, or you can just keep track of it in your head. You don't have to put it in the comment section if you don't want. But what we'll do here is after the 3rd question, we'll see how everybody's doing. Pat, I'll throw this one your way. We'll give folks a second or 2 more, but be thinking about this. The choices are baseball, basketball, football, or hockey. Given a young lad from Canada, what do you think he had dreams of playing professionally? It might be a trick question, but who knows?
Well, Dave, you just gave me the ultimate hint, but I was actually going there. I think he was a very athletic guy, just from Teen Wolf. I remember him playing basketball, and he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was leaning in that direction, but then I was like, oh, it's hockey, of course.
Let's see what the answer is. Final answer is hockey. It's correct. Yeah. Hockey's the right way to go. Yeah. I actually hadn't thought about that, but basketball could be a really legitimate, good second answer for that because, obviously a lot of the stuff in those scenes when he's in the wolf makeup, I bet was another actor, but nevertheless, he seemed pretty good with the basketball.
I believed it was him. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rochelle Bill, how do you say this? Rochelle B, the partly normal LMT says Michael J. Fox wanted to be Gretzky. Yeah. Definitely a hero of his. Okay.
Well, if there's anyone I was going to miss, it was going to be that one, but I didn't miss it. I thought it was hockey, but Ian, I'm not a sports fan, so I don't know.
I've got a couple for you that I think are going to challenge even the biggest Michael J. Fox Family Ties fan. So here we go. Question 3 out of 10. What was Michael J. Fox's first feature film role? Was it Back to the Future, Class of 1984, Midnight Madness, or Teen Wolf? We'll give folks a minute. Give folks not a minute. We won't give them a minute, but we'll give them 30 seconds before we give any sort of answer. So sounds to me like you both have seen Back to the Future and Teen Wolf, but have either of you seen Class of 1984 or Midnight Madness?
I've never even heard of them. So that's how much of a fan I am.
Oh.
I am a fan. I have a pretty good idea which one it is, even though I haven't seen it. That's a hint.
There you go. That is a hint. Do you want to give a guess on this one, Pat?
I think you just said answer it, right, Dave?
Yeah.
I broke up. I'm saying Midnight Madness.
You are correct. You're 3 of 3 so far, sir. 3 of 3. Ian, where were you going? Same one?
Yeah, I was actually going to go with class of 1984, but Midnight Madness, fine. I'm glad I was stuck between the two because the other two, I know Teen Wolf came, was filmed before Back to the Future, and I didn't think it was going to be either of those two, so stuck between those two. So I would do flip the coin and let the fates decide.
Midnight Madness had David Naughton and Deborah Klinger in it. It was a Disney movie that was released under the Touchstone banner in 1980. I believe a year later, we got Class of 1984, starred Perry King. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Perry King and his work. And who else was in it? Oh, Roddy McDowell was in that movie as well. It was a, how rotten kids of the future are kind of story. Darn kids. All right, let's see the scores here. Let's see how folks are doing. John H. is 3 of 3. Let's see. James Mitchell, superfan James Mitchell's 3 for 3. Lance Chaffin's 3 for 3. Tracy Roth Myers, superfan Tracy Roth Myers, is 2 of 3. Another guy in Tennessee is 2 of 3. TJ921 Abel's 2 of 3. Cindy Pruitt's 3 of 3. Elf Dog is 2 of 3. Elf Dog 100. Terrell, our good friend Terrell Bellinger's 3 of 3. Lamont Bradford's 2 of 3. Rome Ticklin's 2 of 3. Tom McCluskey, Hungry Jerk, is 2 of 3. Paul Rodder's 3 of 3. Nick Mamanis is 2 of 3. Mr. Led's 3 of 3. Daryl Johnston's 3 of 3. Al Oduardi's Tree for Tree. Tammy Patton's 3 for 3, and we got more scores. Life of Sad Endings 2 for 3. Another guy in Tennessee's 2 of 3. Elf Dog 100's 2 of 3. Rochelle must have joined late. She's 2 of 2. Metatruth 3 of 3. Lance Chaffin, superfan Lance Chaffin's 3 of 3. Matt Sweeney says Perry King was in Riptide. I was trying to remember. Here's where I know Perry King from. He was in the NPR radio version of Star Wars, and he was the voice of Han Solo. I loved that radio dramatized version of Star Wars.
I've listened to that many times, actually.
Yeah. You've listened to Perry King then. Yeah. Raja 1938's 3 of 3. Cindy Pruitt's 3 of 3. Ed Myers is 1 of 3. George Ayers 2 of 3. Stinson J. Katz 3 of 3. Byron Bushnell, superfan Byron Bushnell, is 2 of 3. We're going to stop there. I'm sure there's other scores in there, but we got to keep moving. We just got to keep moving. So I'm going to take that off the screen and go to the next question. Question number 4. In which television show did Michael J. Fox not make a guest appearance? Was it Family? Oh, with Christy McNichol, and we just lost Pat again. Darn it all, but that's okay.
Darn it.
Now
the pressure's on me.
Grant, Love Boat. Yeah, you have. He saw the question, Ian, and he said, "I'm out. I'm out."
Yeah.
Love Boat or Mary Tyler Moore? We'll give them all about 30 seconds here. Let's put on the timer again. Let's do the timer.
I know which way I'm leaning right away just because of the age of the show.
Yeah, that's probably a good hint. Of
course, I don't know anything. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know anything about Lou Grant. I don't know anything about that show. I don't know when it was.
Sequel to Mary Tyler Moore. Lou Grant was Mary's boss on the Mary Tyler Moore show. And then instead of it being, it was Ed Asner, right? Instead of it being a comedy, it was an hour-long drama. But same character. It was a really interesting decision that they made with the Lou Grant show. But
so just out of like reasons, I would have to go with the earliest one. But I'll refrain for just a moment.
No, I think it's good. Let's go with it. What do you think's the earliest one there?
I think Mary Tyler Moore's the earliest one out of those ones.
Correct answer.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox was not even acting when the Mary Tyler Moore show was on television. So
right.
That was a good way to think through that question, Ian. We said, Pat, that you just saw that question and said, I'm out of here. Internet problems, click.
Just not that I answered it before I came back.
All right. Which actor? Oh, good grief. We've talked about this one. That's okay. Another free spot for folks. Which actor did Michael J. Fox replace in Back to the Future. We'll give folks about 10 seconds. That's all I'm going to give folks to. We'll give them 10 seconds of Homer running just to kind of think through this. And then we'll, since we've all talked about it, we'll just click through to the answer and move forward.
I think I got to quit talking so much during the beginning of these because I ruin these trivia games.
I seriously thought about trying to morph into the trivia earlier and just kind of talk about things as we do the trivia, knowing that this kind of stuff happens, that, you know, we talk about Eric Stoltz. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The whole point of this is just to have fun and kind of remember the good old days. So it doesn't.
But I think it's a good idea, Dave, because I know that for me as well, like I kind of like, should I say something now or not say something? Because I'm always wondering if it's going to come up on the trivia. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things that we do. So let's see, what number was that? Was that number 6? There, I was going to go to commercials now. You see, I was going to do the trivia earlier and go to commercials in the middle. But I didn't. So we're on question number 6. Let's do one more question, then we'll look at scores. On Family Ties. Oh, this is right up your alley, Ian. Michael starred as Alex P. Keaton. What does the P stand for? Patrick, Paul, Peter, or it was never revealed? We'll give folks 30 seconds. Let's give folks 30 seconds. I'll throw the timer up here.
I know which way I'm leaning at this point because I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah.
And I watch it regularly.
I like the way you're thinking, Ian. I like your thinking. I can hear you just thinking this one through, and I think you're heading in the right direction. That's enough time. Okay. Right. Pat, do you want to give a guess before Ian? George, should we just let him answer?
I'm going to guess it was never revealed.
Is that what you were going to say, Ian?
I was, because I don't ever remember it, and I do watch it on the regular.
Correct. Never, ever told why or what that initial stood for. All right, let's see some scores.
I need to phone a friend. Somebody said I need phone a friend.
Before we go to question 7, let's see some scores. We got, let's see, James Mitchell, superfan James Mitchell, 6 for 6. Tracy Roth Myers is 5 of 6. Good job, Tracy. Everybody's doing well tonight. Mr. Let's 5 of 6. Lance Chaffin, 6 of 6. Boy, that just moves so fast. TJ 921 Abels, 5 of 6. Elf Dog 100's 5 of 6. Cindy Pruitt rocking it tonight at 6 of 6. Let's see what else we got here. John H says the Family Ties on Antenna TV. Good to know. Tammy Patton says 6 of 6. Lamont Bradford, 5 of 6. You can play your games on Linux, 5 of 6. Byron Bushnell, super fan. Byron Bushnell is 5 of 6. Another guy in Tennessee's 4 of 6. Tyrell, 6 of 6. Cindy D, 6 for 6. Stimson J Cat is 6 of 5. Or 6 of 6. John H is 6 of 6. Kenneth Wilkinson, great to have you here, Kenneth. Always a treat. 4 of 6. Nick Mamonis is 5 right. Spike Spikerson still rocking it at 100%. Rome Ticklin's 5 of 6. Life of Sand Innings 4 of 6. Paul Rotter, super fan Paul Rotter. Super chat contributor Paul Rotter, I should say, is 6 of 6. Daryl Johnston's 4 of 6. Let's see. Al Oduardi says the give me and 5 educated guesses, and I'm having the best score ever. That's awesome. I love to hear it when people are having the best score ever. Rochelle must have joined late. She's 2 of 2. Hungry Jerks 4 of 6. We keep moving. A Trend Fanatic is 3 of 10. Not yet. We're not 3 of 10 yet, but you can be 3 of 6. Matt Sweeney's 5 of 6. Stinson J Cat is 5 of 6. Dolph Quick is 6 of 6. Doc Savage, 5 of 6. Anthony's 5 of 6. John Collins says, please, more difficult questions, sir. I'm going to, hopefully this next one, or at least one of the upcoming ones, is a little more difficult. I try. Let's see. Georgia Ayers is 1 of 6. Nope, she means 5 of 6. And I think that's good for right now. Let's keep moving. I'm hoping this is the toughie for John Collins, for super fan John Collins. Can this be? No, this isn't the toughie. This is the easy one. What network was Family Ties on? ABC, CBS, Fox, or NBC? Oh, here's a good question. Here's one to be noodling about, Ian. What was Michael J. Fox's shoe size? That's a tough question.
I'm not that big of a fan. I don't even know if I care about that.
That would be sick and wrong if you knew, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like,
you can give us the answer.
Well, when I was, spying on him, it seemed like he was wearing.
It likely wasn't over a 12.
Probably not over a 12, just based on height.
Yeah.
All right, what's the answer, Ian?
NBC.
Correct.
And part of the NBC lineup, Thursday night lineup, my favorite night, Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers, and Night Court, all on NBC, Thursday nights in the 80s. That was the best.
Really was. Now it moved to Sunday. You saw that commercial with Michael J. Fox's. At the end, it moved to Sunday, but you're right. That Thursday night lineup was phenomenal. Phenomenal. On Family Ties, who was Alex P. Keaton's hero? Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Richard Nixon, or Ronald Reagan? We'll wait for a second. Give folks a minute. Let's see what else we got. TJ921 Abel says shoe size is a 5. Raja1938 says NBC. It was their must-see Thursday night lineup with Cosby and Cheers. It really was a powerhouse lineup. And Anthony asks a good question. Whatever happened to the actor who played Skippy? I really don't know the answer to that question. I think he was on. They had a Family Ties reunion on YouTube not too long ago. One of these things where they were raising money for an actor's charity or something like that. And they had that guy. His name's Mark something or other. But they had him on there. But I don't really know his story. Do either of you know what happened to old Skippy afterwards?
I know he did a little stand-up comedy. And he kind of made fun of the fact that he was he said a joke like, you don't hear from Potsy on Happy Days anymore, and you won't be hearing from me. And then he also did a horror film called Trick or Treat with the band Fastway in it.
I remember Trick or Treat, yeah.
That was a phenomenal album. I had the album. I had the tape. I had the cassette.
Spoiler alert, but if I remember Trick or Treat right, and I do get my horror movies confused, but wasn't he the bad guy in it?
He was the kid, and then it's been a while since I've seen it, probably since the 80s since I've seen it. And then the guy, the lead singer, comes out of the thing, and I can't remember if he makes him do his bidding or not or something like that, but he's the picked on stoner kid. Yeah. And maybe he does some nefarious activities.
No, I have to go. No, I'm not going to go back and watch it again. I'm going to say I might have to go back and watch it again. No, I'm not going to. Mark Price was his name. Thanks, John H. All right. Let's see. Who answered the last one? It was you, Ian. Pat, you want to give this one a guess?
Well, I don't know if it's
share the answer.
Oh, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Absolutely. Ronald Reagan. That's a
Thank you.
Huge, excellent impersonation. Very well done. If I had my eyes closed.
Well, I was actually torn between Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon because he does talk a lot about Richard Nixon in the episodes.
Yeah, he does. You know what? I am going to give folks, anybody that answered that question as Nixon, they get a point for that one as well. I think that's it's worthy enough. I only picked Reagan over Nixon because Reagan was president during the whole, during when Family Ties was on. But I think a real case could be argued for Nixon. I'm seeing a lot of folks in the chat saying Nixon as well. So we're going to have points for that one as well and move on to question. You know what? Let's go ahead and just move through and then we'll see how everybody did when we're done with trivia. Here is the tough one for my friend, super fan John Collins. At least I thought this was a tough question. I was quite proud of it, really. How old was Michael J. Fox when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease? Was he 12, 19, 24, or 29? We'll give everybody the full 30 seconds on this one. While we're doing that, look over here and see what we got going here. Skippy was on the movie Halloween with Ozzy and the Kiss member. I think he's talking about that movie there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was Ozzy. Like you said, it was Eddie something or other, right? From Fastway, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember well, Halloween's the Mike Myers one.
Yeah, it wasn't Halloween. It was Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Close. I could see why you'd mess that up.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Ian. What do you think?
Yes, I'm going to say 29. Because I know he was born. I think he was born in 62, and he found out in like 91 or something like that. So I think it's 29.
I say 24.
You say 24?
I do.
Well, okay, so I could be wrong too, but I'm trying to think of the dates. He was born in 62 and he found out in 91. So however old that makes him. I'm not a mathematician here. So 29. That's right.
Good for you,
Ian.
I'm gonna put the answer on the screen before you change your mind, Ian. You were right.
Okay. Well, I was trying to count. I remember it was 91 or it was 90 or 91 when he found out, and I remember that he was born in 62. So I was trying to count, but I don't know. 29.
Super fan Byron Bushnell says that he had a poster of Nixon on his wall. Rome Ticklin says that he could have sworn there was a picture of Nixon on Alex's bedside table. So before I actually post this quiz on my trivia channel, I'm going to have to rethink that question, because clearly there's as much of a case to be made for Nixon as there was Reagan, and absolutely everybody that said that's correct. And yeah, 29 is the correct answer. He, of course, didn't reveal that when he was 29. He revealed it a few years later. Yeah. But it was 29 when he knew that he had Parkinson's disease. Thank you again, Byron Bushnell, for the super chat. Way too kind of you. Truly appreciate that, and appreciate the clarifying information. All right, one question left. Where have you guys been keeping track of your scores? How many of you guys missed?
Well,
none.
None for Ian. What was that, Pat?
I've missed two.
Okay.
That again, I'm not sure if I was right or wrong about Reagan now. So
no, you're right. You get points for Reagan as well. So okay. You're right. You're absolutely right. Reagan was a hero, no doubt about it. Question 10 of 10. What was Michael's character's job on the TV show Spin City? Was he deputy mayor? Was he district attorney? Was he lieutenant mayor? Was he the mayor of New York City, by the way? This was New York City, if I remember right. I wasn't a big Spin City watcher. I did watch some episodes, but I didn't watch a ton, I have to admit.
I'm in the same boat with you.
Superfan James Mitchell says that he found out about his diagnosis while he was filming Doc Hollywood. And Stimson J. Cat says that he recalls reading that he turned to alcohol as a way of coping for a while after he'd been told that he had Parkinson's. You know what? No judgment on anything anyone does to cope with those kind of things. But I do know this. I do know that while maybe that was some sort of temporary relief for him, I know that beyond that, he has found other way more productive ways of coping with his challenges that he's had in his life, and he's done it in such a way that he's benefited the lives of others as well. He's got an entire foundation that he's put together, and really became an activist for the rights and for future research, stem cell research in terms of Parkinson's disease. I remember years ago, he and Muhammad Ali making an appearance in front of Congress or some sort of committee, where they were talking through the value of the stem cell research and just really advocating for, anything that could be done to help folks that are struggling with Parkinson's. Ian, tough question. Going to you, buddy. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know, because I was, even though I was a big fan of Michael J. Fox and his movies, I wasn't a fan of Spin City. So I'm going to have to take the 9. I guess.
You want to phone a friend and phone Pat?
Yeah, let's phone Pat. I don't know if he knows either, but maybe he does. Hey, Pat. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Ian. Good. The answer.
Good. All right. Good. You're never gonna believe it. I'm on the Dave Sundstrom Good Stuff, and I have a question. So it is: what was Michael's character job on the TV show Spin City? Was it deputy mayor, district attorney, lieutenant mayor, or mayor? I don't think it was mayor. So, but what do you think?
Well, first I want to know, how are we splitting the prize money?
we can split it evenly, because yes, that would be fine with me. Right down the middle, buddy.
There better be something in this for us, because crypto coins got to do it. I would say deputy mayor. Go with that. Deputy
Okay.
Mayor.
My final answer, Dave, is deputy mayor.
Bing, 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 bing. You're 10 of 10, Ian. You got them all. You're not a millionaire. I'm sorry. Oh, that's great though. So let's see how everybody did. So there was a comment. Oh, Stimson J Cat said I should have a question in here about the J. So along with Alex P. Keaton not standing for anything, the J didn't stand for anything either. Although there is a story behind that. Michael J. Pollard, right? Or Pat?
That's correct.
Was it a favorite actor of his? I can't remember. I just know there's the
father-in-law. Yeah.
Oh, is that his father-in-law? Okay.
That was his father-in-law. It was Amy's father. I'm not mistaken.
Tracy's?
Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I think that was in honor of his father-in-law.
Interesting. I didn't know that. No, one's Pollard and one's Pollen, but they can change their names for TV too. So who knows? But anyway, yeah, the J stands for nothing. He had to do it because there was another Michael Fox out there, right?
Right. And A didn't work for him. I think that was his middle name was Aaron, or oh boy, now we're getting really deep.
But, yeah. Good. That might be another question I'll put in there. Who knows? That's a good one. And nice job with the phone a friend, Pat. You really pulled his goose out of the whatever you want to say, out of the fire there, because we lost.
Oh, we lost him again. Yeah.
But he was here in long enough to
help me out.
Help you out. So let's see how everybody did, and hopefully Pat will come back, because I wanted to talk about his channel for just a minute here. Al Odawardi says, wow, 10 for 10. The first time I've aced a good stuff quiz. Let's see what he says. Thanks, Michael J. Fox, Alex P. Keaton, Ronald P. Reagan, and Richard Milhouse Nixon, and Dave Goodstuff Sundstrom. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Chris Budoracco says, Heather Locklear. Oh, baby. Yeah. Kenneth Wilkinson, 6 of 10. Another guy in Tennessee says, wouldn't mayor be the same thing? I think deputy mayor is kind of like an adjunct mayor, an assistant mayor. I might be wrong, and if it is, I might need to change that question as well too. But my understanding was the title was always deputy mayor, and that it is somewhat a different role than the actual role of mayor. But correct me if I'm wrong, folks. Always willing to change things, particularly before it goes live on my other channel. John H is 10 of 10. Good job. Let's see. Lamont Bradford's 8 of 10. Bringing Pat back onto the stream. There he is. Danny Staten got all 10 right. Elf Dog was 8 of 10. Byron Bushnell, super fan Byron Bushnell is 9 of 10. TJ 921 Abel was 8 of 10. Cindy Pruitt was 10 of 10. Terrell was 9 of 10. Good job, Terrell. Stimson, good job, 9 of 10. Oh, well, that's a great score. Custom God was 4 of 10. Another guy in Tennessee was 8 of 10. You Can Play Games on Linux was 9 of 10. A Tran Fanatic, 7 of 10. Wasn't here for the first 3, so you're 7 of 7. Good job. Cindy D's 10 for 10. Lance Chaffin, super fan. Lance Chaffin, 10 of 10. Super fan James Mitchell, 10 of 10 with an asterisk for Nisk. No asterisk. If you said Nixon, you got it right. Nick Mamonis, 9 of 10. Good job. Paul Rotter, Great Scott, 10 of 10. Good job. Matt Sweeney was 9 of 10. Bad feeling about this, Sarge, from Casualties of War. Rome Ticklin says 9 of 10. Daryl Johnston, 7 of 10. Spike Spikerson says pretty easy questions this week. You guys are always challenging me to find harder questions. Elf Dog 100, 8 of 10. John Collins says 10 of 10. His middle name is Andrew. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So not Aaron, but Andrew. Let me see. Let's quickly look at these super chats. A super chat from superfan James Mitchell. Hey, Mr. DJ, play that funky Lawrence Welk beats. Will do. Just a second, because let me go to Larry Potter, who says, at the end of this live stream, I'll give you 2 movie clips to link Back to the Future. And okay, I'm excited to see those. Thank you, Larry. I can't wait to look at those clips. That's awesome. And thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated.
Thank you very, very, very much.
There we go. Let's get back to these scores. Let's get back to these scores real quick. Hang on one second here. Get you guys full screen while we do this. Superfan Lance Chaffin was 10 of 10.
I get kicked off the internet again. Thank God. But no.
Well, I was saying when you got left last time, it was like, I'm hoping you can stay on for a second or two more, because I want you guys to talk about your channel. So please hold.
Well, let me just say thank you, everybody, quick, in case it happens again, because I don't think I'm going to try that again.
If you do drop, I will cover your channel and talk about it. But let's hold for a second. Daryl Johnson, 7 of 10. I think I covered Elf Dog, and John Collins, 10 of 10. That's where we stopped. Georgia was 8 of 10. Lance Chaffin, 10 of 10. Nice job. Superfan Lance Chaffin. Super trivia player Lance Chaffin. Steve from The Life and Sad Ending was 8 of 10. Steve, you're always welcome to join us on screen if you ever choose to do so. Tammy Patton, 10 of 10. Mr. Led, 9 of 10. Rajan 1938, 9 of 10. Rome Ticklin, 9 of 10. Great scores tonight. Tom McCluskey, Hungry Jerk, should have been 7. Well, let's call it 7 then. I'll give you 7. Dolph Quick, 10 of 10. Georgia Ayers, 8 of 10. Let's see. Ed Myers was 1 of 10, had to step out. So you were 1 of 1. Let's call it what it is. A Tran Fanatic, 7 of 10. Lance, 10 of 10. Some of these are looking like repeats now because I didn't get to them quick enough. Anthony's 9 of 10. Pat, someone said it's nice to have you back. So with that, folks, let's let Pat talk about his channel for a minute, just in case something bad happens. Pat, tell us all about what's happening over at the golden rage of TV.
Well, one thing for sure, nothing on Lawrence Welk. So you can all be happy because Dave has just ruined it all for me as far as that guy goes. But no, I'm in season 3 now, well underway. Just put out one today on Alan Melvin, and he was one of my favorite character actors. So check that out. And yeah, up and rolling. As long as my internet stays going, I'm going to be there. So come check it out. Golden Rage of TV.
Love the channel. I love the latest video. So freaking awesome. I saw the picture and I thought to myself, Sam the Butcher. But you know what I learned was the man was so much more than Sam the Butcher. And I learned it all in 1 minute and 40 seconds, which is pretty darn incredible.
Yeah, quicker than a Lawrence Welk clip.
No, I could play that clip 14 times, Pat, but
please,
but I won't. Ian, tell us about your channel, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Retro Serial, go check it out. I have different kinds of videos on there. I have shorter form videos, which are more, your standard made for YouTube videos. And then I release my podcast on all major podcast platforms and the video on YouTube as well. So if you're a YouTube fan and you watch podcasts on YouTube, I have interviews with both these gentlemen here. Going to have them both on again. And I'm doing live streams as well. And it's really just about growing up Generation X, the movies we love, the films we love, the TV shows and the music we loved. Yeah, go check it out. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed. I'm trying to make it to that 1,000 mark to get monetized. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't care about nothing, man. And no, I am trying to do that. So is Pat there. And tomorrow I'm dropping. Yes, I did get your. By the way, superfan John Collins, I did get your last one, and I took it down, but I'm going to be putting it back up tomorrow. He got an early release because he's part of the Cornflake Club over on Patreon. Next tier is going to be the Honeycomb Hideout. And then the last tier, I don't know. I have to decide on what everybody gets for these tiers, but he's part of the Cornflake Club. But I'm going to be putting it up tomorrow, and that is 5 boomer sitcoms that Gen Xers loved. So we love them. Watch them. But there's a mistake in there. I'm going to leave the mistake in. I'm going to let you guys point it out.
Yeah, let's see who can. You know that there's a mistake there. You and I talked about it, but we're gonna let it be and see who catches the mistake. That'll be fun.
Yes,
it's an Easter egg, right?
Yes, exactly, an Easter egg. Love it. So thanks both of you. You're right. I love that you mentioned the the subscriber thing. You both are, it's not just, it's all of us as creators. One of the ways that we feel loved and supported for all that we do is by folks clicking on the no cost subscribe button, and even better, clicking on the bell so you're made aware when there's a new video. But clicking on those buttons and subscribing, it helps all of us and continues to incent us to stay excited, stay enthused, stay engaged. So please do that, particularly both of these fine fellers. Pat is so darn close. We're going to have some fun as Pat gets just a little bit closer, but I tell you right now, these guys, they need to be monetized here on YouTube. As a hobby, there still are expenses. For example, the service I use for the live stream, StreamYard, there is a free version, but I can't show Lawrence Welk the way I show Lawrence Welk on the free version. So all of those kind of things are important. Anyway, there's help these fine fellers support their hobby and make I think you've said it once or twice, Ian, make your internet dreams come true or something like that.
Help me grow this YouTube mogul empire.
There you go. There you go. Hey, as long as we're pitching and doing shameless self-promotion, my latest video is on the all-time greatest salesman to ever grace a small screen, the wonderful Ron Popeil, the man who sold my parents a Mr. Microphone that was in my Christmas stocking, and then later on me a pocket fisherman that I took on many campouts. Passed away just recently, and this is my tribute to him. And coming on Friday, super fans will get a preview tomorrow sometime if I can get it finished. I'm still working on it, but coming tomorrow is a video. I've done 2 of these beforehand. I don't do them very often, but I'm going to do Remembering 1982, where I talk about the music, movies, and television of an era, and how in particular these videos are kind of all about me. I like to talk about how they impacted me in my life, where I was at that particular year. And then I love reading everybody's comments about what was going on in their lives too at that time. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It has been a true pleasure to just witness the enthusiasm, the engagement. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe just how joyful this live stream is for me, and to be able to share, to get a little nostalgic with everybody about my favorite time in the entertainment world, whether it's music, movies, or TV. The 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, they were the absolute best. So thanks again, everybody. Thank you so much for the support. Don't worry, Pat, I'm not going to play the Lawrence Welk clip again. But thank you very much. And let's go ahead and call this one, put this one to bed. Thanks, everybody.